Hello, welcome back to my channel. It's Sam from the Soul of Stella, and I've got another pick a card reading here for you today. This one does come with a sensitivity warning. This is messages from your past loved ones, okay? So it could be a friend, an ex-lover, a family member, of course, or even a pet. We will ask for some clarification for them to identify themselves. However, it is going to be different for everyone. And because we've only got 3 piles and lots of people watching, it may be very specific information. So if it doesn't feel like it's resonating for you, you might want to come back to this beginning and choose another pile. If nothing else is resonating, then there's no message here for you today. Okay, so I must say that. This also does come with, of course, your own best judgment. Don't take something that doesn't feel like it's actually meant for you. And time is fluid, okay? So this could be someone who is also near the end of their life or in an incapacitated place to be able to communicate with you in a way that makes sense to you. Okay, so you will know, use your intuition. Okay, so let's get started. These as messages from your from the other side, from your loved ones on the other side. This is pile 1, this is pile 2, and this is pile 3. Take a moment, use your intuition. The links to the timestamps will be below in the description box, and I will see you in your reading. Pile number 1, this is your reading all about messages from the other side, okay? So please go back to my introduction if you didn't hear the sensitivity warning. All right, I've pulled a few cards about what they want to say to you, and then we're going to get into identifying them a little bit. So we've got Virgo, the Alchemist. We've got Mars, Action, and 11th House, the Edge. Okay, the Edge. Look at these cards. Gosh, they're beautiful. All the decks that I use are in the description box. Mars and Action. Okay. These cards are going to be pertaining to the information they want to share with you. This person may have been a Virgo. You may be a Virgo. You may be Aries, Scorpio. But we've got, the Alchemist talks about turning something into nothing, or turning pain into productivity, turning bare metal into gold, okay? So this is methodical, aligned, ritualistic, efficient, insightful, healthy, dutiful, discerning, witchy, subtle, pure, refined, accurate, solitary, curatorial, critical, nervous, and perfectionist. Very Virgo traits. So I feel like this person is trying to talk to you today about something that you need to alchemize in your life. And that is a big saying of mine, is to alchemize your life. This is why I tapped into tarot as heavily as I do now. So we'll get more into this. We'll break that down more. They're also telling you to take action. There may be some desire action, action here. There may be some fighting action here, but this is a fiery energy, okay? This is talking about desire, impulses, courage, force, heat, strength, competition, workouts, excitement, thirst, impatience, anger, leadership, engine, potency, willpower, motor, and sex drive. And the 11th house here is coming to the edge. It's talking about exploration. It's talking about expansion. It's talking about community as well. Wishes, philanthropy. The 11th house can also talk about wealth. But this says friendship, group creativity, community, humanity, hope, tribe, festivals, discoveries. I feel like that's really important. Common goals, startups, rebellion, experimentation, and the future. Okay, so this feels like taking a look into the future about something that you may be working on at the moment. Okay, let us identify who this person is for you, pile number 1, or who this, it could be a pet, but who this Who is communicating with you from the other side? Okay. Who are you? Can you identify yourself? To pile number 1, please. All right, we've got the 7 of materials, the 9 of voices, and justice. So 7 of pentacles, 9 of swords, and justice. This might be something that you felt was an unfair situation, or a situation where it planted a seed for something else to change or something else to be set right, okay? So if this was an unfair passing for this person, this is how you're going to know this person. Okay, if we're taking it really literally, it could be someone who loved their garden. It could be someone who had a lot of anxiety. And it could be someone who worked in the legal system or the justice system or law enforcement in some way. Okay? But other than that, I do feel like this is someone who, when they passed, it actually created space for change to be alchemized. It created space for a conversation to be had that perhaps wasn't the easiest conversation to have, and that may have kept a lot of people up at night trying to figure out what should be done to rectify the situation or to rectify the community. Okay, see how interesting it is that the 7 of Pentacles came out over the Alchemist, which is really talking about putting something into work, nurturing it and helping it to grow, and knowing that the results might not come straight away, but with methodical practice, with refinement, with accuracy, with a curatorial sense. So when you curate something, you're really like taking the specific pieces and putting them together. Almost like baking a cake. It's like the ingredients that need to go into it. When you curate an art show, it has a theme. It feels like something was in the soil. Do you know what I mean? And something then grew from that. It's interesting that these cards came out exactly where the message feels like it fits. With Mars in action and the 9 of Swords, it's talking about there was a lot of anxiety. There was a lot of sleepless nights going on here. There was a strong desire to find the truth or come to the edge of the truth and actually see something through to change for the future. Or there was a common goal that was like reset for future communities, for future discoveries, for future hope. Okay, so it really does feel like this person is saying very clearly, this is the situation in which you will be able to identify me from. This is the situation in which you know me from. Okay, I'm not going to make any claims about who this past one is, because I don't want this to be too boxed in, okay? Because this is a very specific kind of reading. We're going to get quite general information so that it can relate to as many people as possible. But I want you to then be specific with the details that pop out to you, okay? So that's why I'm reading each detail quite specifically on the cards without making any assumptions. That's for you to then take, okay? Interesting. I want to see what the bottom of the deck says here. 5 of Cups. So there was a sense of disappointment, possibly a sense of this being too soon. I get that with the Justice, too soon. Unfair, okay? Too soon, unfair. Obviously, when someone passes, it is their time, no matter which way it goes. But there was a strong sense of disappointment. There was a strong sense of sadness, a lot of emotions, and possibly something that didn't feel like it had complete closure until justice was somehow served or justice was somehow rectified and came into the picture, until some action was taken that planted firmly and grew the next part, okay, that grew the, I'm going to say like circle, okay, that grew just the justification of it all, that allowed space for some truth, okay, that allowed space for some kind of truth to then be born, created from that situation, okay. So the disappointment is definitely there. A period of mourning was definitely there for this person. Okay, now, dear beloved past people, past person, what messages have you today for pile number 1? What messages do you have today for pile number 1? I'm hearing something about a movie theater. It feels like back-to-back kind of movies, like possibly one of those Sunday daytime movies that they might do in the winter, where it's like they have 2 films at once and you buy 1 ticket and you have a lunch break in the middle. If this person enjoyed that, or if this person is trying to tell you to actually take a decent long break, because that's such a chunk of time. I hear many of you, especially if you're perfectionists and you're working hard at something, right? With the 7 of materials, the 7 of pentacles, you're working hard at something, you're really planning something, you're really watching something grow. You're possibly thinking, as soon as I say that, what a waste of time. You're possibly thinking, gee, that's a long time to be sitting still. But there's a call for stillness here, but also a call for imagination. A call for, it feels like an old cinema. I've got one in particular in mind that is actually nearby to me, where the film producer, where the director, where the film extraordinaire Baz Luhrmann actually grew up and spent some time discovering film. So it's got an oldie schooly feel to it, and that was a thing that definitely happened when he was growing up and still happens to this day in that theater. So if that resonates with you in some way, this person is trying to communicate to you to have a sense of imagination, to develop a sense of imagination about something you may be struggling with, because we've got the King of Pentacles here, okay? So it does feel like something that you are working towards, something that you are quite passionate about, that is slow and steady wins the race. If you're really working towards something in your career or a business, you may be entrepreneurial, you may be a father as well, or have a father figure who has passed recently or at all. This message is coming through with a pentacle energy, okay? So the 7 of Pentacles, and then you've got the King of Pentacles. Both of these look like they've got pathways on them, so it feels like quite a journey to get to this position. And I say position as a position of wealth or wealth accumulation. The 11th house can talk about earned wealth, so this kind of makes sense. And if we're talking about the Aries, like Emperor card with the sense of action here, he's also an entrepreneur. So very work heavy messages coming out. This may have been a workplace related incident, but I do feel like you're kind of, the message that they're trying to convey to you is also about your work, your career path. The 3 of materials here, the 3 of Pentacles, so again, more pentacle energy, talking about when you collaborate with someone on this project, things are going to move forward, okay? Stop blocking the inspiration that is coming towards you. What needs to happen is the creation needs to be birthed, and we talked about something being curated and birthed, okay, before. So very, very interesting. And then you've got the 10 of Swords here, and you've got the 9 of Swords here. Something that's very much a burden mentally, keeping you up at night. Stop blocking that inspiration. Take some time out to actually move your inspiration forward, move this project forward with a sense of, if you take a pause, the ideas will come. All right, let's see what else they've got here. Page of Pentacles, the 10 of Pentacles, the Devil, the Ace of Wands, the Page of Wands, and the 9 of Cups with the King of Pentacles. I think if you're feeling like a beginner in this situation, what this past loved one is really trying to express to you is they see the amount of effort that you are putting in. They see the passion entirely that you are putting in here. It may have even been driven by the justice that you are seeking subconsciously from this situation, okay? It may have been drawn inspiration from this situation in which they passed. It feels like something that has to happen for you. It feels like something where you don't feel like you've done yourself justice and your soul justice until you complete this. With the 9 of Cups, it's talking about you being really proud of yourself, and you almost having this wish fulfillment. So it does feel like something you have planned and plotted and planted, and perhaps kept yourself up at night about quite a bit. You've asked for help when you needed it, and you've really stepped into this place of owning whatever this work or career or wealth manifestation project is, and it actually is paying off, okay? You've got the 10 of Pentacles here. The Page of Pentacles is talking about something may have been offered to you that was quite small, and now look at you. You've turned it into an entire rose bush that is big enough for people to dance around. You got one rose, you turned it into an entire garden. You turned it into an entire business, okay? So perhaps to do with floristry, that's a side note. But I do also feel like it hasn't come without its thorns, okay? Because this journey, it feels like something that you co-created with the universe. And this person says, well done for that. This person is saying, keep going. It says, you've arrived, but keep going. There's still more. Okay, that's really what I'm getting strongly with this. You've created a community for yourself. You've cloaked yourself in this project. You have owned it 100%, and they're really proud of you for that. You've really attached yourself to this, and this is why they're possibly saying computer just agreed there. So that's a confirmation. They're really trying to say here that you've attached yourself to this brilliantly. However, do not get too attached that you forget to nurture yourself. Do not get too attached that you lose yourself, okay? The Eminem song, lose yourself in the music, or however that goes. There's also a portal right at the back of this card, okay? I don't know if you can see that little tiny archway there. There's a little portal. It feels like there's a really big transformation coming. I'm being very particular with my words today. Okay. There feels like a big transformation that is coming. Now, you could be led down a garden path. Okay, there's a feeling where you could be creating something, alchemizing something. You're making something out of nothing, making something out of nothing. And there's so much abundance. There's so many roses blooming. There is a slight warning just at the back of this card, and it feels like distance, okay? If you take this like telescope, if you take this scope and you look into the future, there is the chance that something cloaked as passion, okay, because it is in the fire of the action. It's like you could get so far down this rabbit hole of taking action that something actually ignites, okay? Something actually burns. Like ignite sounds like a good word, but it catches fire in not the greatest way, and it can keep you toxically attached to something. Okay, so there's just a little reminder to take a breath away, right? See how this card has got two parts? It's taking a breath away from the project or the obsession with this project, with this wealth creation. Take a step away sometimes so that you do break those toxic bonds, and so you do get fresh inspiration coming in. Okay, you may be getting an offer of help from someone who is quite passionate. I'm also feeling like you may be getting offers of help from past loved pets. Okay, you've got two cats in this image with like energy coming out of their crown chakra. So if you remember your pets and the way they made you feel or the way they treated you, there is some kind of inspiration coming from them. That's not to say that this entire message is from them. I think this is a side note, okay? But take that how it resonates. I do feel like there's a whole lot of color coming into your world, and I'm actually going to pull some color cards in a moment. It feels like when you can balance, okay, this Justice card does have a sense of balance to it, Libra energy. When you can balance the obsession with the allowing, okay, there's a sense of allowing as well, and giving up control, sometimes taking a break, sometimes that is very important. Take a break. You can be so wound up with this, sorry about the brightness, you can be so wound up with this passion and this fire within you that actually you can get a little bit sidetracked, but there's fresh inspiration available to you when you take this break. And it may be coming in like a dream state, but definitely a strong focus in here as well, a strong focus on it coming through your crown chakra, your third eye chakra. Okay, so it's really asking you to rest. I'm surprised the Four of Swords isn't here, but I feel a strong need for you to rest. You're doing the most is what this person is saying, and I feel like they are someone who also did the most. Okay, they really burnt themselves out, they really overworked themselves, but I feel like what they were trying to leave was a strong legacy, and you're taking that legacy, or you're also taking that role in your own life of creating a legacy, and you're doing that with the King of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, and the Ten of Pentacles. You are doing that. You're creating community, you're creating wealth, you're creating impact and generational wealth here. Okay, but there is a sense that you need to counter all the action with some rest. All work and no play, okay, can make it a dull day. I'm getting a strong sense of going somewhere barren. Now, that's not to say that there's not water there, but I do get the sense of like a desert kind of community or a desert kind of landscape. Somewhere where the sun is hot. And when you return, I feel like there's a refreshing energy. Okay, there's a refreshment coming through. You're going to be cooled. You're cooling those jets like water. And this is going to bring in all the pieces of the puzzle, I feel. It feels like wish fulfillment. And I do feel like what will be reflected back to you, what will be reflected back to you when you return from your break, is a whole new sense of passion and drive for this project. Something that actually brings in not just the wealth, but the wish fulfillment too. Okay, so not just the money, but the soul, and that's the balance, okay? The soul, heart, fulfillment, satisfaction, satiation. There's this feeling of I've arrived fully immersed, okay? Because you've arrived, but you don't feel happy, or you don't feel completely like it's signed, sealed, delivered, and the bow's done up. Okay. It's like you've made the movie, but you haven't released it. If we come back to that cinema analogy that was coming through. So very interesting message from this person. And don't forget what we were talking about here before about the collaboration to move things forward. Stop blocking the inspiration that wants to come through with the sunlight. Okay. Don't get too far down the rabbit hole of it becomes dark and I feel like burning the midnight oil. Like you're working into the wee hours and not getting any sleep whatsoever. What will come when you can balance out the play and taking this trip, right? The Chariot can often talk about taking a trip as well. Moving forward, going somewhere to refresh your inspiration and stop blocking those blessings from coming through. What will then be created really fully with everything in the universe, okay? With everything in the universe, you will be able to co-create fully to birth something new into being here, okay? Interesting message. Let's get... what is this all in regards to? Wow, that was... Okay, consciousness, yes. I feel that with the Justice card as well. I just heard let your friends help you. We've got strength on the bottom of the deck. That's like red energy, Leo energy, Mars energy here, action energy here. Very similar in color to the Three of Pentacles here as well, and to the darkness of the Devil. Okay, so it's like using your strength. I just saw intuition as well, and reflection. This lavender color is definitely giving me a feeling of like pastel skies, and that's where I'm feeling like getting out into the desert and just watching the sunset for a while, watching the sunrise, watch everything turn red to purple. Okay, tapping into that higher knowledge, tapping into, and your friends, let your friends help you. This could definitely be talking about these past loved ones want to come through to your consciousness. They want to make themselves known specifically to you, the watcher. Okay. Wow, that sounded sus, but I don't mean it like the TV show. But taking a pause is definitely needed here. The reflection is also talking about what you may be mirroring that this person did. Remember how I talked about you may have picked up a project that is similar, or you may have picked up the project that they like left behind. There is a mirroring energy that you may unconsciously be falling into a trap. Okay, just remember not to burn yourself out. This Nine of Swords talks about a lack of sleep, but it can also talk about a lot of messages coming through at once. That's another thing that I get with the Nine of Swords. Sometimes it's a sense of overwhelm that keeps you up at night unintentionally, not because you're overthinking things, but because your phone just won't shut up, okay? Or your computer keeps going and you just won't shut it down. But there is a deep sense, look at this lady, she looks actually quite peaceful. There is a deep sense to get some space from this project, to get some sleep, some shut-eye from this project. Interesting colors. I feel that this lavender really suits this side, and this beige color here really suits this side. It feels like where you are now and where you can be, these two cards. There's a Justice card in another deck too, the Modern Witch Tarot, where it looks at as above, so below, okay? And so this is really asking you to take a look at this person's story, take a look at this person's struggles, and where they possibly didn't get the chance to investigate their own consciousness, okay? To investigate their own consciousness. You may actually be called at the moment to have some Reiki healing. You may be called to neuro-linguistic programming or hypnosis. You may be called to meditation and having a state of reflection of your own. but there's a need to reflect on your own subconscious and your higher consciousness, okay? And what can those two bring together? I feel like if you squint your eye, these two mirrors, because they look like little mirrors, they look like countertop mirrors, right? That you do your makeup in to get a closer view. Like one might have a magnifying side to it, okay? And then you've got the telescope over here with like a magnifying effect. It feels like you need to come to the edge of your consciousness. I'm hearing like you need to meet yourself there. So it's like really having a forevision of what this wish fulfillment is, but you're not going to get that vision until you take the pause needed to actually take this deep dive. This might seem like a lot of work, but I feel like it's going to be very healing for you. And also healing, I just heard generational trauma. So take that as it resonates. Like I said, I'm trying to be very careful with my word selection, but it feels like something passed down, and it's like the buck stops here. This curse, this behavior, this method of thinking, this mode of operation, this stops here with me. This goes no further, okay? But it does feel like a story. If you look at like a Dreamtime Aboriginal artwork, it's like there's a community, and then there's a community that is coming apart, and then there's a community that comes, like, we're so spread out now. And that could be in a sense of there's few left, and so we're spread across the land, or it could be instead full of abundance and full of the right people in the right communities, okay? So it does feel like there's a sense of other people being involved here and needing to find the right people for this project, but keeping them close together as well, in a sense of how, even though things can get bigger than you, how do you all meet yourselves there? How do you all come together? Interesting messages. All right, let's get some more messages from this person. Can we go deeper with this? What other messages have you got for pile number one? And then we're grabbing some advice from this person, specifically for you. This is my Rebecca Campbell Megadeck, if you're wondering why it's so enormous. It's the Starseed Oracle and the Work Your Light Oracle combined. Wow. One more. Beloved loved one. And guidance for this situation, please. Guidance for the situation, please. A lot more, apparently. Okay, you've got leap. You go first. The universe will catch you. Again, with the barren landscape, there's something about, there's so much going on in your mind. You actually need this solitude of having not much to look at, even though there's actually so much to look at in a barren landscape when you really think about it. It's just taking the traffic, taking the noise away. You have Starkeeper, Cosmic Ancestor, Seed the Light by staying grounded. Yep. Coming back. This feels like a portal, right? This feels like a portal of like breaking through the Earth's barrier, okay? Breaking through the Earth's barrier. You may be getting like too high, okay? Remember we were talking about like going on a journey that can get you kind of stuck in a toxic cycle. This feels like coming back to Earth on a little starship of your own. You may be really called, and this may feel like it's a past life calling. This is what I'm getting from this card with their kind of ancient Egyptian symbology here, but it also has the feel of an egg. So again, it feels like that Empress energy of coming home to yourself and creating what you feel called to create in your gut, okay? There's a gut instinct, there's a gut trust here, and you have to ground your gut, There's a real sense of like, put your feet in the dirt. Okay, put your feet in the dirt. I think this leap you've already taken, but you may feel like there's still a little bit to go. Remember how we said you've succeeded in something, but it just requires the fulfillment? Here's your fulfillment. Here's your satisfaction waiting to catch up. Okay? But this is the universe part. This is the universe, but you've got to allow that to happen. Because you've taken the leap. Now allow for the universe to catch you or to catch up with you. And I think then it feels like it's going to hit you. It feels like it's going to like really have a merging effect, and you might even feel like a brand new person after you take this short vacation, this short break. When you rest and rejuvenate, there's actually something that will feel so fresh and like a brand new idea with this alchemist energy and the Ace of Wands and the Page of Wands. It feels like a brand new idea. Something more you can offer, not just to yourself, but to everyone else. The Cosmic Heart, devotion, potency, make your life a moving prayer. I really feel like they're congratulating you here on doing this. I think you're coming through here as someone who takes a lot of action, who potentially can take too much action, but they're congratulating you on having the wherewithal, okay? The wherewithal. It feels like magician energy. It feels like you cultivating, right? Cultivating all the tools that you needed in order to succeed to this point. They're really proud of you, and they see you moving. They see you taking strides. They see you taking leaps. Okay, you landed on the moon, and you're not just taking a leap for mankind. It feels like it's having like a pulse. It's sending out a radiating pulse. And this is what I really feel like you're working towards now, is not just having this grounded, rooted wealth, but actually giving it a pulse and helping it to expand into higher consciousness as well. So please only take that as it resonates. I know I might be using quite broad language, but I'm aware that there's a lot of people that are going to get different messages from this. Keepers of the Earth. Yeah, there's a lot of Capricorn, Taurus, wow, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Goodness me, it's right in front of me. Virgo. Earth energy to this. I'm also distracted by the dogs on this. There's lions, there's elephants, there's dogs, there's winged creatures, there's eagles, and there's what looks to be like a possum or something with like flight goggles on. Just one slight image in the background of that card. So something's definitely taking flight, but that you've been loyal to the project. You've been loyal to the project. There's rose petals falling down here too, but I am feeling like in order for this to then go to the next level, you have to trust in not just this person or pet, in this past person, but you have to then trust in a lot of other higher realms, okay? So this is taking things to a whole other level, and it may actually be something that you're not used to, but I feel there's an inkling. There's been an inkling this entire time where there's a sense of magic, okay, that you have to believe in, you have to bring back. And there's a childlike sense of magic here with the Page of Wands. There's a creative cloud hanging above you. But it's actually a message. It's yours, absolutely, it's yours. But it's filled with messages from not just this past loved one, but all the ancestors, all the archangels, all the ascended masters, your higher self, spirit guides. It's from God, okay? And I mean that in whatever sense you believe it to be. There's a real sense of like, when you ground yourself, and not just in wealth, but you really ground your soul, There's a sense where there's layers of winged creatures here to help you. There's layers of spiritual realms here to help you. And that might be what brings you down to earth properly. Because when we build up a home, right? Say it's a mansion, and bushfires and wildfires can ravage buildings, and floods can wipe out buildings. Mother Nature is the biggest action, the biggest alchemizer. Mother Nature trumps all of this, okay? And there's a sense that you can feel grounded in your fancy wealth, and not calling you out for using the word fancy. I'm using it in a congratulatory sense. You can feel grounded there, but your soul needs to feel grounded even if that wasn't there, okay? And even if it's money in the bank, okay, and you don't feel grounded in a living situation yet, there is a sense that when your soul meets that groundedness as well, then things really settle down. Okay, interesting. Answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? There's you really contemplating, okay? Awakening, energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. That also feels like the allowing. It feels like the leap is taking a pause, okay? They gave me these extra cards because they really want you to understand this topic. And perhaps this, although you're watching a tarot reading, so you may be open to spiritual lessons, they're really wanting you to dive deeply into this. Answer your call, what your soul is calling you to do. Then you will have this energetic upgrade, a new way of being. Then you can integrate it. Then you can action it, okay? Then you've taken yourself to the edge. Fill up your well, retreat, rest, refuel. They're coming back to that. The sense of take 2 movie lengths of time at the very minimum, okay? Indulge in something that you feel like would normally be a waste of time. Remember, I mentioned that at the beginning. And there's the cactus again, and it's merged. This desert landscape is merged with the oasis, okay, with the refreshing feeling. This is the arrival, okay? When your well feels full, that is the arrival. All right, let's finish up, because it's a long reading, I know, with the last piece of advice from your past loved one here. The last piece of advice, please, for your past loved one, from your past loved one. Thank you so much for the clarity of this reading. And the peace, there's a real sense of peace that feels like it's come over this reading as well. Pile 1 and myself, thank you for your wisdom, for the things we might not understand but will click later. Okay. Treat yourself to long-forgotten freedoms of childhood, acting silly or playing games that brought you joy then and still can. Wow. We talked about it. We talked about it. After a setback, find a place where you feel completely safe, where you can relax, reflect, and renew your desire and courage to face the world again. I'm putting that over the devil energy because it feels like that's the setback. Make your home your haven, a space that reflects your taste, promotes your health, and inspires your best. And we just talked about home as well. Thank you so much for being here with me, pile number 1. I hope this does resonate with you in some way, shape, or form. Please let us know in the comments below if it did in any way. We would love to share that experience with you. Thank you so much for being here. I love you all. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Pile number 2, welcome to your reading all about messages from the other side. I have pulled a couple of cards here for you already, and we are going to try and identify the person or pet from the other side. However, if you didn't listen to my introduction, please go and do that. It comes with a sensitivity warning, and I am going to be quite broad, although we're going to cover a lot of detail because the rest is for you to interpret. Okay, so with that being said, these are your cards: Venus and love, Saturn and wisdom, Quincux and complexity. Okay, The complexity of life. I feel technology. There's an alchemy to this as well, which came up in pile number 1. I think with challenge comes wisdom. With power comes great responsibility. And there's a sense of learning from your love lessons and the complexity within your love life, if we're overall looking at that kind of message. The Venus and the Love says beauty, harmony, romance, charm, receiving, sensuality, luxury, wealth, diplomacy, magnetism, value, pleasure, adornment, adoration, attraction, indulgence, taste, and style. I just heard smoke and mirrors as well, and you can see these pink clouds with the red roses popping through there, or the peach kind of colored roses there. There's something magical about this, but it's also it also gives me Empress energy, a creation kind of energy. Something that is soft and nurturing, but is powerful and can be like quite like rippling, I just heard as well. Okay, with this Saturn energy, you've got discipline, structure, time, responsibility, tests, ambition, difficulty, restraint, grounding, practicality, self-control, tradition, realism, container, bones, maturity, gravity, scaffolding. You've also got the timbers, okay? So someone could be a woodworker. You've got rock and granite here. So some kind of biologist or ecologist or ecologist, archaeologist. I don't know if I'm saying any of those words correctly. Masons, okay? The rings around this Saturn is giving me highway as well. So possibly a driver. A long haul kind of driver. There's a lot of like earth energy in this card. Saturn is Capricorn energy. It's wisdom. It's building, the building industry. It's authority and obligation as well. And it rules Saturday, okay? Saturn rules Saturday. Interesting. Venus rules Friday, and it's Libra and Taurus energy. Love, money, aesthetics, beauty, receiving, allowing, feminine, okay? Quincux and complexity, it says irritates, puzzles, mystifies, complicates, contradicts, clashes, misses the mark, requires translation, adjusts, makes curious, educates, or transforms. You may be in the education system. You may like puzzles. They may have liked puzzles. There's an element of being out of space, you know, requiring deep exploration, deep thinking. This is like a mind card. Overall, I feel like the messages here have to do with the complexity of love and the love of, I'm not going to say drama, but the love of piecing this all together. There's a sense of allowing your love life or your material coming into being is what I'm hearing, coming into being. So the building of love, the building of relationships, the building of a life, the building of a well-lived life, like a high value life. There's actually a sense of pleasure that can come from this. And that might seem very jarring for some of you, especially if you've recently gone through a breakup and it's like the 10th one and it's like, why me? Why me? I'm getting a real sense of like complicated relationships, but it feels like a sense of as well that your mission here on earth is actually to experience complications so that you can find like a center point, so that you no longer run rings around yourself, but you come back to like the mainland is what I'm feeling. Like you actually land on the planet rather than running rings around the planet. Okay, there's a sense of like grounding yourself. It gives me Starseed energy. We are going to use the Starseed Oracle as well. So it feels like someone with a double mission sent here to build something and to create something for the greater good, but also for themselves and for the people close to them. But it does also feel like love is the double mission, where you are meant to experience different things to actually help people to understand love at a higher level. And it could just be the people that you date, you push them to build and to grow and evolve out of these situations into someone better, that then has a ripple effect that I was talking about at the beginning, this pulsing effect, or it feels like expansion, like something being pulled. Yeah, but it's you're an essential piece of this puzzle. This person who has passed is really saying that all of this will be worth it, and that at some point you will be able to ground yourself and receive. It feels like they both come back to this point of wisdom. At the moment, you may be under construction, but it feels like you come to a point where you land. Okay, so you're going to land in a state of abundance and beauty, in abundance of love, abundance of wealth, after there's some deep contemplation, after these complexities are able to find a home, are able to be grounded. I keep coming back to groundedness, but it's like spaceship gravity. There's also a sense of like something needed to grow big so that it could be utilized. Okay, with this like timber cuttings, it feels like something needed to be utilized, a resource that had potential to grow or did grow. It had to be cut down so those pieces could be utilized to build on top of the puzzle, to alchemize this situation into something so much stronger. So you possibly have had a lot of tower moments in your life, something completely crumbling. It feels like love, but could also have to do with wealth. Something had to crumble in order for it to be rebuilt. Okay, let's get this person, past loved one. Dear past loved one of pile number 2, can you please identify yourself? Make yourself known to the people and to this particular person. Pile number 2, very clearly make yourself known. I felt it. Thank you so much. There's the pulling energy that I felt. That is exactly it. Okay, that push-pull, where it's like you've got an elastic band on your waist and you're still moving forward. Despite all odds is what I'm feeling, despite all odds. Okay, so this person is identifying themselves in this way. We've got the 4 of Swords. We're talking about rest, relaxation, recuperation, enough to have energy come through, right? Enough to have, I'm hearing like to hear their voice, okay? To hear their voice. This is the 4 of Voices in this deck. So that's very interesting that I just got that. To hear their voice, you need to take a bath, take a walk. It will send you on a portal to another realm, okay? You've got a tiny door in the background and this person is walking across, you know, like a river crossing. To hear their voice, this person is bathing, and there you have Saturn in the bottom, okay? You've got Saturn in the bottom. There's wisdom that comes to you when you are resting. There's wisdom that comes to you when you take a break. Then it's followed up by the 9 of Swords. So a lot of sword energy here because you've got the 10 of Swords as well. This does feel like when you take a break, you're going to be visited by this person quite heavily, because these cards being voices is really giving me energetic messages coming through. And look how they're like shooting down. It's like download, download, download into this person, but the person is levitating. So they're resting. But the Nine of Swords like actually talks about someone who is not getting any rest. Okay, so this person may have been trying to visit you in your sleep, in your dream state. But it actually, I don't know if it spooked you, but it kept you up at night. Because the Ten of Swords often talks about like something ending, okay? Something just ending. And it's like, there can be a sense of denial with the Ten of Swords. It's like, I'm carrying all these swords in my back. All these shots have been fired, right? But I'm walking around with these swords on my back like I'm ignoring it all, like I'm good, like I'm not getting any sleep, but I'm still like a walking zombie at this point. But I'm really heavily getting that there's messages that are trying to come through. And then you've got the Eight of Wands. Here it says inspiration. It's the Eight of Wands. It's a lot of communication coming in very quickly. So I feel like this person has been in their physical body and their life on this earth. They are someone who struggled. Wow, I just heard they struggled with the voices in their head. Okay, so this may have been someone that struggled with a mental illness, or someone that struggled with mental, I'm going to call them demons because it does feel quite heavy. They struggled with mental demons. But there's a sense of genius to them as well, where they understood that they only needed momentary moments. They only needed momentary pauses to gain all the inspiration that they needed to succeed. The Six of Wands, the Eight of Wands and the Six of Wands, it's like the messages would then come in very clearly and they would have success from that. It feels like genius energy. It feels like someone who had a mental illness or dealt with a lot of mental chatter and possibly hit it really well, because we then have the Ace of Cups here. I mean, you can see this as someone who had a lot of love to give. They were just a little quirky perhaps in giving it. They may have said sorry a lot is what I'm getting from that. But I also think that they had genuine emotions attached to, like they had a genuine reason to have this mental chatter. It was emotionally connected some way. I actually need some clarification. What's on the bottom of the deck? The Three of Inspiration, the Three of Wands. I'm going to take that as clarification for the Ace of Wands. The Strength at the bottom, the Leo energy here. I feel like this person had a lot of emotions and for things in the future. They had a lot of emotion for things working out. They had a lot of... what's the emotion? I do need to understand the emotion. The strength. The strength. I feel like they carried something from a past life. And they came into this world with the intention to not just understand it and push something forward, and to communicate their insides, their feelings, in the only way they knew how, and they succeeded. They succeeded tangibly, okay? This feels like success, fame. It feels like material wealth as well. It feels like they fought a battle and they won. And the battle might have been their own mental state, and they came out of it with a brand new sense of feeling, okay? But I do feel like it had a domino effect on their life when they finally addressed their emotions, or when they finally like Oh. Oh. I feel like they had a blocked heart chakra. With the Leo energy, it's all about the heart. And that's card number 8, and we've got the 8 here. It feels like for a very long time, I do feel like this person suffered mentally, but they eventually may have addressed the denial. They eventually may have found a remedy for their sleep. They eventually may have taken a pause, a break properly, and found the strength within, perhaps, wow, deep, deep within, after they did a lot of soul searching. They may have soul searched at the bottom of a bottle, okay? That may have been something that they indulged in. Some kind of addiction, obsession. But I feel the obsession was triggered in their head. You've got the 5 of voices here, which is the 5 of swords. Then you've got the 8 of swords in reverse. When they were able to really let go of all of the chatter, when they were able to let go of the devil, okay? When they were able to let go, when the strength trumped the devil inside them, they felt like a sense of like being reborn. That unlocked their heart is what I'm feeling. That really unlocked their heart chakra, and then they were able to move into a period of success in love, wealth, beauty, seeing themselves in self-love. They lived the last part of their life happier. Okay, it had a domino effect on every area of their life. They possibly traveled a lot after this. They overcame a lot. There feels like there's strength should be sitting here, and the devil is lurking over here with all of these sword energies, okay? And then you've got the King of Emotions, right? The 6 of Emotions and the 10 of Inspiration. When they unblocked their blessings, right? It feels like a dark curtain was hovering over their life. This person was able to bring in the inspiration needed. Now, why did I want to go so deep with this? Why did they ask me to go so deep with this? This may be something that is being mirrored in your own life, that you may be actually able to learn from their story. There's a complexity to this, right? This puzzle. Because, you know, in the other group, in pile number 1, it was 3 cards identified. This person really wanted us to go into this story so that you can see there is so much inspiration ahead. There is so much good, solid, grounded, stable emotion ahead. And there is a place for nostalgia. There is a place for all your dreams to come true. I'm hearing like you need to water your emotions. There's a lot of sharp edges over here. There needs to be some water added. Get around water. Dive under a wave. Bathe. And it's a strong message for pile number 1 as well, was to really rest and relax. And that is coming up again. But there's a strength here that possibly feels like you need to get the help when you need the help. You need to allow someone to untie you. You may be dealing with similar issues here. Actually, why did I feel called to just pull all those away? I'm going to leave them there. You may really be dealing with, I feel like we dived straight into the part where they're trying to give you advice here, okay? Their advice is, take heed of my story. Take heed, okay? Take heed of my story. And there you will find your own infinite strength to overcome whatever is boggling you, okay? Whether it's love, whether it's the building of a life here, it feels like they're extending their cup of love to you in this way, okay? They're actually saying to you, you have the strength, pile number 2, to overcome whatever may be confusing you, whatever may be clashing and missing the mark, right? With this quincunx energy, it's complicated. It's contradictory sometimes. I'm thinking this, I want to do that, but my heart says this, my head says that. Okay? They're really asking you to look at the puzzle as an overall picture, look at their life, look at the way they lived, and actually find the wisdom, ground it, okay? There is a sense of learning here as well, so you may need to educate yourself on why you are like this. Why do I have these thoughts? Do I need some talk therapy? Okay, no shame. Do I need someone? Okay, there's this sense of scaffolding. Okay, like the structure that supports a building as the building is being renovated or as a building is being built. Okay, it's the metal poles and ladders and platforms, plateaus, in order for something to rise up within it. Okay, it surrounds the building. It's like you are the building. You may have some, like I said, tower moments in your life, and there's some crumbled bits that need to be repaired. Build a scaffolding around yourself with community, with friends, with therapy, with self-love, self-care practices. Health is coming up, okay? So what you listen to, your environment that you are putting yourself in, whether it's the work environment, your bed, okay? Whether it's moving to a seaside location because you need to water down the thoughts, okay? There's busyness here. If you're in a city and it's just not calling to your soul, there's a sense of sea change, okay? Your environment, control what you can control, change what you can change, let the rest go. But this scaffolding of support around you will help you to build more strength. It will bring out the strength within you. You are not weak for needing to ride on the back of a beast that has already survived a few. Okay? There is a strong message here that when you can sit atop the beast, when you can sit atop everything that you have gone through, everything that you are, it made your story, but it doesn't make you in the future. Okay? It got you to this point, but it doesn't need to be something you carry around with you. In fact, it's going to carry you. It's not going to be the other way. Okay? You're not carrying the beast is now carrying you. That is your wisdom. That is your strength. That is your limitlessness. The limitless, the infinity symbol here in the woman's hands, it represents the number 8, right? So it could have to do, and the card is the 8, so it could have to do with Lionsgate portal for you. So whenever you're watching this, it's a timeless reading, but around Lionsgate, so the 8-8 portal, okay, the 8th of the 8th, you may have something that actually transforms, and that's when you land on the planet. Okay, that's when you land and you ground yourself, and that's when you can ride atop this beast. There's a moment here. I feel like there's a moment. There's missing puzzle pieces, potentially 2 missing puzzle pieces right now, and you're just like, right, if I can alchemize my pain, if I can use the resources that I have to build something, a raft, a boat, a home, a new environment, a platform. From that platform, I get a new view. With those 2 puzzle pieces missing, I still have the picture, okay? There's a sense of take an outer space look, come back to Earth, get on the planet you want to get on, ride the beast you want to ride, and then your heart will explode open. There's a real moment of change, of shift. And things will start moving forward very quickly towards the life that you always wanted. But you are going to the depths of your soul to find it. This can have a lot to do with heart, matters of the heart. But I feel when your heart feels safe, okay, when your heart feels seen, within its own body, but also within its relationships, the people you surround yourself with, you can live a simpler life. And that simple life can be one of success. I really do feel like your story and potentially their story and this generational, if this is someone who is from your family, it feels generational, that there's a level of fame, a level of being recognized, social media, a book, a TV appearance, a plaque, a statue. There's something about being seen and fully recognized for the inspiration that you bring to other people to do the same, to release themselves against the barriers, right? To release themselves against this pulling pressure, the pull of the difficulties, the pull of the devil energy, the pull of addiction and obsession and mental incapacity, mental overload. There's a sense of deep freedom with the King of Cups here. Deep freedom and groundedness. A sense of your emotions having a place and everything having a place. Wow. All right. We're going to dive straight into what other messages. Dear beloved loved one. Past. What messages do you have for pile number 2? What else does this message pertain to? What else does this message pertain to? Thank you. Yeah. Oh, wow. Look at all this red energy. Oh, sweetheart. Oh, oh my goodness. Okay. So, okay, we're back. My camera nearly overheated, so this is very interesting that this came up. I just had to pause it for a second because I was saying all this red energy. You've got passion, pain, and anger here. It's really talking about using your passions, and look at this like double, as above, so below, mirroring energy, right, of passion. Indulgences too much into one area of passion can actually lead to pain and anger, okay? And there's a sense of needing to find strength with your passions to process the pain and the anger. There's a feeling of seeing your anger for what it is, fronting it, and then there's this pain. It feels like, I'm going to say the word bloodletting quietly. It feels like a release. It feels like a drain. Okay, so the pain is a drain, but it's triggering the anger. That's where the anger, that's where this is where the devil energy is residing. You know, red is a very interesting color. It's like, it can be too much of action. It could be too much Mars, right? The god of war. It can cause a lot of pain and chaos. It can cause a lot of confusion. It's dense, whereas this passion energy, it's a cooler red. It is a red that soothes. It is something that can ignite things in a good direction, that can spark something, that can light the way. Okay, so it's really asking you here, this is advice straight from this past loved one, to really deal with this in the best ways you can. Get the help you need. Take the moment of pause. Take the moment of rest and recuperation. Get some sleep. Figure this situation out, okay? So that you can find that inner strength. And if you squint, it looks like the infinity symbol. So that you can find the passion to want to live a better life, so that you can process all the things that have been mystifying you, complicating your life, contradicting your goals and values and the vision that you have for yourself. This is going to be the education for you to find the life that you desire so that you can enjoy the sweetness of life. These two could not be more, these three could not be more in alignment. Sweetness. You want emotional fulfillment. You want love. You want pure, genuine love. And from that, you feel like you can overcome any battle. And from that, you will get downloads of information. You will get communication coming in from suitors, many suitors. You will get the success in the love and groundedness that you desire. That you desire, truly. You don't desire these things anymore. Okay? This is what your beloved is saying. This is what your past, this is messages from the other side. Indulge in the sweetness of life because you deserve it. You do not deserve to stay in this state. When we overcome something, don't we feel proud? Don't we feel driven in a whole new way? Don't we feel our sense of playfulness return? Don't we feel our sexuality be released? Our magnetism towards that which we want. You know, we step into who we need to be to get what we're asking for. Okay? That is a big message here. Okay. Can we please get messages from the other side? Advice from the other side. Wow. Thank you so much. A new earth. It's happening. Keep holding the vision. A new earth. You're going to land on the planet of your choosing. No longer running rings around yourself. No longer running rings around other people and doing what other people want you to do. Okay? No longer being controlled by other people. No longer being controlled by voices in your head. Okay? Whatever that means to you. You are going to land on a new earth. And there it's not so hot. Look at the pastel colors here that brings out the sweetness of life. There it's not so hot. You get a whole new vantage point. You get to see your life in a whole new view. You get to see Earth from its own galaxy, okay? Leap, the ever unfolding rose. Okay, you go first. The universe will catch you. This is full energy. It's like, I know I need to do this. I'm going to do this. Take the leap. Okay, it's a calculated risk. Yes, you might be scared. Leave the baggage behind. But this is you. The universe has your back. Okay, the universe has your back in this situation. The ever unfolding rose, cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. All of this, all of these pillars of pain, see the pillars in the background here, are helping you to rebuild a new life for yourself. It has cracked you wide open. That tower moment we talked about, it's cracked you wide open, and there a flower is growing. In the rubble, the flower unfolds. There the rose becomes the knowledge and wisdom, becomes the softness and sweetness that you want to fall into. Okay, that is you. You have the power to absolutely do that. And this was the reason. Okay, this is the Starseed kind of double mission that I was picking up on. You had to travel this path so that others may learn from your success, so that others may learn from your power, this place of power, this sense of creation, this place of authenticity. When a rose opens up, it's been vulnerable, okay? It's been really vulnerable to take this leap, to having courage, right? Courage is the strength energy to unfold and be authentic and to show itself, okay? Interesting messages. The age of light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. I fully agree. Starseed mission, okay? You've been training for this for lifetimes. I said light times. Interesting. Mintakan, longing for home, belonging, the original light workers. That is you. Look at the wateriness of this, okay? You may have had a lot of dreams that have confused you and kept you trapped. But actually this longing for home, this feeling like I don't belong anywhere. I don't even belong in my own body. I don't belong in my own head. You will be able to transmute this. You will be able to learn from this, gain wisdom from this, and unfold as you need to find this new earth. Okay? Ah! Starseed, what lights you up? There you go. There you go. What lights you up? I think you've got a lot of love to give, pile number 2. A lot of love to give. There's something very childlike about you. There you've got Saturn in the background again. Saturn in the background again. Okay? Whew. You may come from Saturn. A place like Saturn. Wow. I'm so proud of you. Like, me reading this person, you're passed over on the other side, they are literally like, yes. They are pouring. There's so much love pouring out of them. Pouring out of them. There's so much light pouring out of them. Okay? If you're seeing flashes of light out of the corner of your eye, this is your past loved ones really egging you to see that light. To see the light inside yourself so that you can shed that light on your pain, and then you can share that light with other people. It's filling up your own cup first. Filling up your own cup first so that you have the strength to then share it with other people. These messages that are coming through, this communication that is coming through thick and fast, that could be you. That could be you sharing this message with the world, and the success that comes from that, the peace, the victory, the overcoming is the victory. That is for you. That is for you. There is your wisdom. There is your love. There is your magnetism. There is your wealth. There is so much ahead of you, pile number 2. Messages from the other side, please. A final message of advice from the other side. We thank you for your clear messages. We understand that time is fluid, and we may understand more of this reading as time goes on. Really curling the cards there. Make a choice to forgive, to free yourself from anger towards events you can't control and people you can't change. Wow. Forgive, free, allow, pile number 2. I just want to take a moment and thank your other side parties, okay? It can feel like a whole lot of other people at this point. Potentially a whole generation of other people, okay? I just want to thank them for the messages that have come through for you today. And like I said, this may not all make complete sense just yet, but I feel like if you can take one seed of information that they've shared with me here, and unfold and trust in yourself, okay, and trust that all will be well when you do take action to learn from these experiences, you will really set yourself free here, pile number 2. So thank you so much for being here and sharing this time with me. I know it's a longer reading. Please let me know in the comments below how this resonated for you, because I find it absolutely fascinating, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much. Bye. Pile number 3, this is your reading from Messages from the Other Side, okay? So I've got a couple of cards already drawn for you. This is going to give us an overview of about that person, but also the similarities that they kind of want to discuss with you today, okay? I'm not going to get... We are going to clarify, like, how do we know you? Can you identify yourself in this reading as well? But I'm not going to get too into specifics. So if you haven't seen the introduction, please go back and listen to that. There is a sensitivity warning that comes with this. And I just, although I'm going to dive into quite a lot of detail, it's going to be quite broad because of the amount of people watching. And it's really important that you only take what you know to be true in your heart from this person or pet from the other side, okay? There will be certain things that will stand out to certain people and other things that you just need to let fly. Yes, in saying that, let's get into it. I'll kind of go into more detail as we go along. You've got Uranus, revolution, 8th house, intimacy, and 9th house, seeking. 8th house and 9th house. So the 8th house is about death, transformation, magic, the occult, the esoteric knowledge, taboos, inheritance, sex. Okay, the 9th house has to do with spirituality and philosophy, seeking, expansion, religion, travel, can have to do with legal matters as well, and higher education. Okay, and then you've got Uranus and revolution. Uranus is Aquarius energy, unexpected, breakthroughs, ideas, revelations, revolutions as well, and technology. Okay, so intimacy. I just heard the world is your oyster. There's agate kind of in the background and foreground of this card, agate. And then you've got a diving helmet and a pole dancer. Okay. Over here, it feels like a sheer cliff. A sheer cliff. A camel. Money. Or maps. They're maps. Passports. Growth, like a waterfall. And over here you've got like a cracked, it feels like an energy field with cracks on it. Lots of lightning, clouds. Lord of the Flies kind of energy with these big horseflies they look like. Okay, so with the 8th house it says, and I'm reading the details because I think this is important, investments, intensity, contracts, sex, erotic capital. Wow, erotic capital. Secrets, mysteries, obsessions, inheritance, kundalini energy, stalking, and the underworld. With the 9th house and the seeking, we've got foreign travel, adventure, higher education, customs, faith, beliefs, pilgrimages, spiritual quests, aspirations, journalism, religion, gurus, risk-taking. The revolution card, Uranus, breakthroughs, brainstorming, originality, insight, awakening, technology, innovation, humanitarianism, reform, surprise, freedom, experimentation, the unexpected, rupture, edge, diversity, and lightning. Okay. There's a revolution taking place in your feelings of intimacy as you travel to new realms. So whether that is new places within you, new places within the world, new places in your career, if you deal with news and journalism or writing, documentaries. There is a sense of something coming to the surface with all of these cards, with intimacy talking about the underworld and Uranus and revolution talking about something kind of rupturing. It feels like a volcano. And with this seeking energy, it brings about information. So something that comes from underneath, it comes to the surface and it reveals something that someone was seeking. Now this person or pet, this message from the other side, they could have really have been fascinated with this kind of level of thinking. Okay, they may have had a very expansive mindset where they understood the mysteries of the world. And now that they're on the other side, they understand it to a deeper level, to the point where they want to call your attention to this, where they want to bring to the surface what they have learnt. that they now see the bigger picture, and that your quest, whatever it is worth the pilgrimage, is worth the travel, is worth the effort. Can you please identify yourself to pile number 3? How might they know them? How might they know you? How might they know you? Please identify yourself as clearly as possible to pile number 3. The Fool. Strength. How might they know you? Thank you so much. We have the Sun at the bottom of the deck, and we've got the Strength energy there, so double Leo confirmation, Major Arcana. You got a lot of Major Arcana cards here, actually. You've got the Fool, the Tower, and the Strength, and the Sun. Okay, 4 Major Arcana cards. So this is major. It is big news. It is news you need to pay attention to. I'm not sure of the order these came out, but we'll read it as best we can. I feel like that needs to go there. Okay. We've got the Fool, the Strength, the Knight of Wands, the Tower, and the 6 of Wands. Someone with a very creative imagination. Someone who may have been in the limelight in some way, whether because of their physical strength or because of their creative mind, because of their sense of adventure, and because of what they endured. Okay, there's a sense of, wow, it got really dark all of a sudden, and it's absolutely boiling, so I feel like a storm is brewing. I think this person did survive some storms. They may have actually put themselves in the path of some storms. I'm really feeling that. Storm chaser, anyone? There's someone who was very interested in not just the occult, and when I say the occult, I mean like what we do. Divination styles, things that aren't always talked about in public circles, things that are taboo, like the card says, taboo. Where did I see taboos? It's not even written on that card. Interesting. But things that can seem taboo. I think they were interested in magic. And that is the magic of the world. That is the magic of how things work, okay? How things work. This person may have like an engineering mind with a big creative spark or creative outlet, and love him or hate him, but it feels very Elon Musk-y, okay? With the technology element here, with the worldliness to this person, the understanding of different cultures that this person has may actually have sparked so much inspiration within them. And I think that brought them closer to other people. They actually may have experienced a lot of other people, okay? But I feel like this person was the type of person to take risks, who built up a lot of personal courage to live this kind of life, and who may have appeared to be one that never settled, okay? So they may have never married. They may have had a lot of love interests in their life. They may have sparked a lot of creative ideas and have always have been on the move. They were someone who moved quite quickly. Transient, someone who was coming and going, okay? They were always coming and going. But I feel like they left a spark wherever they went. Someone who was very charming, a great storyteller. Maybe they were a fan of the strange, dark, and mysterious, okay? I feel like they overcame a lot of challenges in their life. They may have actually been through physical turmoil of the kind of Mother Nature. So I got volcanic, like something volcanic coming to the surface here. They may have been someone who lived on the edge of danger. Okay, so whether that was a war zone, whether that was they storm chased, like I said before, whether they were really investigating volcanoes, whether they experienced earthquakes. I'm hearing New Zealand. My heart goes out to you all over there. I'm so sorry. And Turkey. Literally everyone. Whew. I just try not to cry. I feel like this message might be for me as well. That never happens. That never happens. Okay, very interesting. I feel like there was a freak accident here that this person may have experienced, but they actually, it's one of those situations where it feels like they passed doing something they love because they were a free spirit. They gained their own level of success in their lifetime. And they were well known in their circles, okay? This doesn't need to be worldly fame, but it's almost like it's giving me... it's giving me Into the Wild vibes. I love that movie. They may have lived under like a pseudonym as well, like their own made-up name. You know, like Alexander Supertramp from Into the Wild. It just feels like, and he was well known. Like people would know about the guy that lives out in the wild in his little van, and he, you know, he hunts and he survives in his own unique way, and he's full of ideas. He had to live out there because his ideas were so vast and so expansive that the modern world didn't understand him. Please only take this how it resonates, but there's a lot of movement here with the Knight of Inspiration. When the lion starts to run, like he can run. The Tower is movement. It's chaos. It's crumbling. And the Six of Inspiration, the Six of Wands, that also has a lot of movement. That's a lot of wands with fire at the end of them, okay? And normally, like the traditional tarot represents the Six of Wands as someone being atop a horse, kind of doing like a victory lap, okay? So they're moving forward. There's a lot of movement here. And then you've got this radiating sun energy. They were a big personality. I'm not going to lie to you. This person was a big personality. And look at this Two of Inspiration. You know, the Two of Wands. They really were looking ahead. They really were making plans for their future. They had a lot of love to give people. They had potentially a lot of wealth accumulated that people probably didn't know that they had. Sorry about the brightness there. And there's a sense that they gained new perspectives wherever they went, and they were able to create magic. They may have even been someone who delved in magic, okay? They may have been a tarot reader. They may have been a healer, a shaman of some sort, a yogi. They may have worked with crystals, and that's what kept them close to the edge, mining, right? Oof. Interesting. Please, now that we have met you, can we please understand what messages you have? The Page of Inspiration is turned over in this deck here. So the Page of Wands. They have a message for you. They have a message for your passions. That is what they want to share with you today. And they are saying that keep the spark alive. Keep the spark alive. For what you want to find will find you. If you go seeking, it will find you. There are breakthroughs coming for you. There is awakenings coming for you. There's the Queen of Emotions in their message for you again, okay? So the Queen of Cups. They love you unconditionally. They are around you and they are supporting your ideas. The Knight of Swords is talking about this, giving you a sense of clarity. They would like to offer you a sense of clarity. Clarity is coming in for you quickly. Pegasus energy. The Queen of Swords, okay? You've only currently been seeing half of yourself, I feel. It's time for you to use your voice in a way that... The Page of Swords. Wow, all this sword energy here. There's definitely clarity coming in. You may find out that someone has been watching you and discovering both sides of you. You may have heard the call, right, within your own mind to actually go seeking this clarity for yourself. And there's a sense of like, to master your mind. I just heard Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Dr. Joe Dispenza. Okay, it's a book. King of Pentacles. There is success coming for you. The kind of success that they experienced, it is also coming for you as you journey into the depths of your mind and possibly into the depths of your emotions. But also there's a sense of taking flight. You may actually be taking a flight soon. You may be, there's something news. There's news coming. From the news. Can you clarify the Queen of Voices, please? What is your message here for pile number 3 with the Queen of Voices? What is your message here with the Queen of Voices? The Seven of Cups in reverse. You've been blinded. You've been blinded in the past, but now things are coming to light and showing their true colors. It will be easy to make the right choice. The Queen of Swords is decisive. It will be easy to make the right choice when you have the information that is coming through. When the clarity that comes through, when the message that comes through, when the news that comes through reveals itself to you, you no longer have to guess. It will be sure. The smoke and mirrors will be gone. The snakes and ladders will be gone, and you can rest assured that you were making the right decision. I just looked up at this Knight of Wands again, so it feels like something to do with passion. And I say passion in terms of intimacy or in terms of passion projects, okay? Something that you know you need to do. Something you know you need to do. There feels like a divine pair here of a balance between someone who is really grounded and someone who is really nurturing. Someone who brings home the bacon, someone who, you know, cooks it for the family. This may be speaking to your family dynamic right now. Okay. I think we need some more information here. Can you clarify the Knight of Voices? 9 of Pentacles. Something's really going to set you free. This clarity that, yeah, computer says yes. Something's really going to set you free here. Something is really going to give you independence. This clarity gives you a sense of independence. The Page of Voices, the Page of Swords. Please clarify the Page of Swords here. Something's giving you a sense of independence. The Page of Materials, and that's a gift. It's a gift to receive this information. Solo rose, but you're cloaking yourself with the rose, and with the rose comes the thorns. We water the whole plant to get to the softness, the sweetness. But that is what will set you free. That is what is giving... I feel like you've spiraled. You may have like lost your balance from the Queen of Emotions and felt too far into the King of Materials and become, you know, it's like you're living outside of yourself with this double kind of energy here. It feels like, although you needed to be in your masculine, and I'm just, you know, we don't do gender, we just do energy. Maybe you are overworked as you are working towards a goal, and you actually need to see how these two figures are like side on, and the Queen of Swords is always showing up as side on. Okay, you only see half of her. She actually has other layers to her, but she never lets anyone see her true self. So I do feel like you've gone from someone who could have been overly emotional, closed off your heart, and then you're meeting your match, or you're someone who is very nurturing, you closed off your heart, and then you felt like you were outside of yourself, and this is like a coming home. Overall, it's coming home to your emotional state of being grounded. Bottom of the deck. You come home to yourself. You come home to courage. You come home to strength. You come home to the light within. Wow, that Sun card is following us around, and so is the Two of Wands. Something has definitely been revealed here that sets your plans in motion. The Hierophant. You've learnt your lessons. Now you can create magic like I did. Now you can create magic like I did. What is hidden will come to the light. What is hidden will come to the light. Wow. I'm going to keep that Two of Wands there. What other information? Actually, what does this pertain to? Can we get some color energy on the table, please? Thank you for your clarity. It feels like an eat, pray, love kind of situation as well with this seeking and the intimacy. You find yourself as you find out how the world works. And you do a revolution. You might actually be taking a whole entire lap around the world. You might have a round the world ticket for something. Death energy. Balance. I'm not going to take that in reversal. And frustration. Yeah, there's that Alexander Supertramp trying to put a square peg in a round hole, and you will not allow it anymore. You will not allow that anymore. Then you have magic, and the Magician was underneath, a couple of cards underneath magic. Okay, there's happiness when you tap into your magic. There's no more frustration when you tap into your magic. Something must go in order for you to find balance. Something has got to give. Okay, possibly this person, whoa, I am so sorry, pile 3. Possibly this person had to go in order for there to be something to be set right, in order to draw attention to something that was being juggled, too many cooks in the kitchen, too much of one thing. Something wasn't getting enough attention, right? That feeling within yourself as well of balancing something out, right? If you're having material wealth, you also want wealth of happiness. You also want a wealth of health, okay? You also want to balance your emotions, okay? The King and the Queen energy. You've got a lot of power. Remember all the major arcana cards that came out in the beginning? Now you've got Queen, King. The King came out underneath here as well. The Sun again came out for you. And lots of like sword energy, which feels like mental frustration, okay? Which feels like lies and deceit. But actually, there's something very abundant coming from this. The balance will actually rebirth this, okay? So this death energy, what happens when the bushfire comes through and burns the place down, there actually is regrowth, okay? There's actually new growth that comes through. I'll be right back. I'm back. My camera has really been overheating. I'm so sorry about that, but it is boiling outside. And it happened in pile number 2, and I feel it comes at a very opportune moment. There's this sense of like overheating if you keep forcing something. There's a real call from the other side to answer the call within yourself, to go seeking, to go traveling, to go exploring, to go brainstorm, okay, to really understand the complexity of life, to really understand how things work and who you are, and to truly express yourself. There is a need for you to take this spiritual quest that actually can strike inspiration within you that is so unexpected that it actually brings about so much intimacy with you and nature, with you and the world, with you and your ideas, with you and your loved ones, that actually helps you to shine in a way that not many people can. To tap into the genius of you as well, to tap into the power of nature within you. There's a force, a life force, and that is that Kundalini energy rising up, right? Rising up your spine and twirling around as it enlivens. I really feel it's going to enliven all of your chakras as it like spirals up. And it will come out of your crown chakra, it will come out of your throat chakra, it'll come out of your heart chakra, and it will come out of your sacral chakra. Okay, it's going to help you to create and to speak and to think and to live into being, to bring everything you've ever wanted to be or ever wanted to understand into being. In some way, you become the world. In some way, you become the sun. Okay, and we revolve around you. Your life starts to then revolve around you. Interesting message. To the past over loved ones, can you please shed some more light on this? I'm using this Megadeck because it really does dive into the spiritual realms, and because we're talking about people on the other side, it's important that we respect their knowledge that they've gained on the other side. So, inner earth, you'll survive this, new solutions and beginnings. What did I say? You'll find a whole new you, a whole revolution of you. Pleiades, double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. Starseed energy there, you may resonate with coming from the Pleiades. You may be Palladian. No, wait, postpone, pause, say no. I feel like this is you saying no to the things that are not serving you anymore. Saying no to that which is frustrating. And yes, to look at the lightning reflected in the Uranus energy, the revolution energy. That's a tough energy, okay? It's saying no. I know it's hard to do, but you must say no to that which is no longer serving you and put a pause to it at least. Put a pause to the work, the career, the family life, whatever it is. Put a pause to the straight and narrow and find the curves and edges and go to those edges. You'll create magic there. That's where lightning will strike. Soul family. There's a big sense of friendship coming through here. Call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. That feels like someone leaning in to listen to the other side. Okay, so this may be a friend from the other side. You're already doing it. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north. Compass energy, okay, travel energy. You're already taking steps to do this. Stop overthinking it. Say no. Answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? Get off the edge and start moving towards it. What is your soul calling you to do? Imrama, where are you being called to journey to? There is so much calling you. This is all this mental chatter. Okay, it's gone from your soul and your heart, and it's gone to your head now. Okay, and it's getting in your head because you didn't listen to your heart. Okay, you may be trying to be really practical because that's what society wants from you. When in fact, there's a sense of like they're fooling you. Okay, this frustration, it's like they're trying to just weasel their way. They're trying to distract you with bright, shiny objects, okay? But in fact, I think you really understand that none of those choices under those cups are what you really want. You know, you want to take the ladder out of there. If this is a game of snakes and ladders, you're wanting to take the ladder out of there completely. Like, I don't want the goldfish, I want the whole pond. And that frustration that you've been feeling is really calling you. There's a big energy. It's a force of nature, and you are a force of nature. There is a big energy moving through you. The earth had to move. I feel the earth move under my feet. Go and listen to that song. There's that I'm not going to sing it. I feel the earth move under my feet. So I start singing it. There's something rising up, for sure. But you are rising up. But there's something else rising up with it. There's a truth. There's a truth that is rising up that you and only you can share with the world. Okay. Beautiful message. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the clear messages. We understand that time is fluid and not all of this will make sense immediately. But as we start to take steps in the right direction, that we will answer that call and it will all make sense. Have you got some final advice for pile number 3, please, Spirit? Some final advice. We appreciate you coming to communicate with us today. Make the time in each day to do at least one thing challenging, one thing generous, one thing creative, one thing productive, and one thing that's fun. That's your sense of adventure. It's got a routine, but it also allows room for everything that is calling you. I'm holding that there in case you want to take a screenshot. Direct advice from the other side. Appreciate that everyone has a reason for doing what they do, for feeling how they feel, and for being where they are. Know this of others and remember it of yourself. This doesn't mean that you hate on the life that you lived or are living. It doesn't mean that you hate on society and completely ostracize yourself like Alexander Supertramp, although he found his own tribe in a way. If you haven't watched Into the Wild, that's also your homework. But there's a sense of appreciation for all forms of life and all forms of thinking and all ways of expressing yourself, okay? You don't have a type when it comes to love is what I feel, but I also feel you don't have a type when it comes to what your hunger, your thirst for what you can experience so that you can form a fully, it's like a new world. It's a new world. It's an inner earth. You're forming a whole new picture for yourself that actually makes sense and makes magic and makes you happy. The other side says, go, my friend, seek, revolve, explore, love deeply, love fleetingly, because we are all fleeting. Do what makes you happy. That is the magic of living. Do what makes you happy. Please let me know in the comments below if this resonated, pile number 3. Like I said, it may not make complete sense yet, but there's a lot to take in here, and I did want to keep it broad while going into certain avenues as much as we possibly could. I would ask for clarity wherever you can. Use your own voice to ask for clarity for the things that you currently feel are in the dark, so that you can move this all forward, so that you can experience the joy, the groundedness and the openness at the same time. Okay, good luck. Thank you so much for being here. I love you. I'll see you in the next one.